first create a hook because they need a story, because what they care about is entertainment. It's not their job to tell our story. It's our job to make our story entertaining, which makes their job easier. All right, well, my name is Wes Bergmann, and I am the lead investor of Beta Blocks, which is a 4-equity business incubator that helps startups get off the ground with a higher likelihood of success and hopefully a substantially higher valuation, and thus helping entrepreneurs get paid faster and paid more. We've been around for a little over 5 years. We expanded to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and so I spend half my time in Kansas City, which is where my heart is, and half my time in Tulsa, which is honestly where my brain is. Yeah. 2 pretty exciting cities with some really interesting and awesome entrepreneurial and startup stuff happening. And so what was us acquiring, or me acquiring 5-ish% of 10 companies every quarter, now is approximately 20 companies every quarter, which adds up to 80 or so businesses a year. A good chunk of those will go out of business, but a good chunk of those will start to take off. We are on our way to an event called 1 Million Cups. They started about 6 or so months after Beta Blocks was founded, so it's been really fun to watch their evolution. Aside from the fact that this is such like a grassroots event that takes place now in hundreds of cities at the same exact time every single Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. It's just pretty exciting. How are you, sir?
Good to see you.
Good to see you as well. How are things?
Good.
Great.
Gearing up in the new gig, so.
Good for you.
Not as successful as Nalima yet, but
yeah, sure.
That's what I call it.
We all strive to follow in the Nalima footsteps.
Yeah.
Based on talking to farmers and figuring out what they need. And the first part of that is just starting by paying a fair price for the coffee.
What is your main differentiator? Like what makes you stand out from any other wholesalers in Kansas City, let alone in the United States, and anyone else that's even remotely touching coffee? Like you said brand 6-7 times. What is that? What stuff did you prove when you got to market that maybe was wrong, and how did you change and adapt? And then what maybe thing did you just nail right away where you're like, that was a correct guess, that was right, good job, double down on that? We are now on our way to go see Nathan Korn, who is one of our better entrepreneurs in our portfolio. He went through, I believe it was batch 3, and it was for an industry that is now relatively large, cooking whole batches of meals for the week and shipping them out to homes to where people just have to heat them up in their microwave. Mr. Korn.
What's up, man?
How are you?
Good. Good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
Yeah.
I want a tour. Haven't seen this place. I mean, it grows every time.
The last time I was kind of old, I used to work from home a lot, and this is our big thing now. You see our supplement line here. Some people look at supplements as like a magic pill or a cure-all, but supplement it's in the title. It's essentially extra, a supplement to what healthy food, which is what we have. So people, if they need a little bit extra protein in their diet or extra calories here and there, there's a really back hallway here, and so we're about to expand back there too. Yeah, so we have our big freezer over here.
So the last time I was here, this one was new.
Right. So it's a 250 square foot freezer, and this one's used for a little bit different stuff now. Different inventory, and you see it's probably filling up pretty quick. You can kind of see, you can kind of go through there, check it out. A lot of gyms and supplement stores that resell our products. Yeah. We give them a set amount of meals to sell every week, so their customers choose from 10. It's our affiliate program. It's off the chain. Our gym owners make 25%. Jake Truelove, hold down the floor, run the show. Yeah.
Executive chef, right?
Executive chef. Yeah. So this holds thousands of meals. That holds thousands of meals. And the thing is there's a couple of projects we haven't really hit so forth. We haven't blitzed because it's just a little bit of you know, it's like we got to make sure we have the freezer space. Yeah. So it's always building on and building on and building on. We're about to install another one that's going to be, you know, probably double the size of this guy. The main thing that I've learned is that in the past 400 days is literally I can do anything, which means that like I've sat down and learned basic HTML code, and I've set, you know, things that I need. And so at the end of the day, like when you start up a business, you're going to think, oh, I need this, I need this, and it always involves money, but really it just involves time and focus. And so sometimes you can do stuff on your own. You can do a lot on your own. At the end of the day, if the money's not there, it's just not there, and it's actually, that's kind of a good thing. And so there's a lot of things that I can step in and do.
What's the thing in the last 400 or so days that you're most proud of accomplishing? Like the thing that you can kind of hang your hat on most recently, I guess.
I think that the meal delivery industry is so new that I'm super, super proud. Obviously, everyone wants to have a business that's successful, but I truly feel like we're a pioneer of the industry. And proof of that is I study companies, my competition, and not the local competitors. You know, God no. We study the big dogs, the guys who make multi-millions of dollars. And what I see is, you know, a lot of these guys that used to be in the game, I'm friends with them. I talk to them on the phone, so I like to hear, you know, what they're about and different things like that. And so we're almost like, I consider us, you know, when you come into an industry, you know, you don't learn something in a couple months. Like I still feel like, you know, 3 or 4 years in, we're still learning, but it's about our time, and so it's really, really nice, because whenever you start a company, when you're a startup, you wish you had dollars to spend. Yeah. But the benefit is obviously that helps growth for sure. But the benefit is if you don't have that and you can make it anyway, shows you how bad you want it for sure. You save a ton of funds, but now I know when we do make our huge marketing push, it is going to be so strategic and so on point, and there's going to be data behind to back everything up, that it's just like, oh, this will work for sure.
Okay, let's talk some traction-wise. Like how big? I saw on the website, what was like 553,000 meals have been sent out or something.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that. Like where are you at? Like where are you at?
About 6,000 meals a week.
6,000 meals a week.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Going direct to consumer, and then we have you know, some gyms across the country.
I remember when we were high-fiving over 20.
Yeah, 20 meals a week. Yeah, 20 customers. Yeah.
20 customers.
Yeah.
Wow, 6,000 meals.
Yeah.
How many trucks does that take to pick up?
A huge semi with a really angry FedEx driver who hates loading that stuff up.
You know, every time I meet with Nathan, it is just very invigorating for a handful of different reasons. He's obviously an inspiring young man that has a profound amount of knowledge given how old he is. You know, every time I meet with him, I try and teach him something, but honestly, I learn something every time too. You know, he's also a shining example of how the Beta Blocks model works. He came into us as nothing but an idea, went through the hardships of those first 6 months together, and then takes the lessons that he learned in part on his own and in part with us, and continues to apply them as he builds new product line extensions and tries out new markets, and is, you know, how he takes advantage of different stages of growth and orders of magnitude. It's just very impressive, and it's just fun to be around. And on an equal level of pride is where I'm going next is going to see Ralph over at Amerigo Labs. It's a combination of a co-packer, as in food and pharmaceutical co-packing, and in particular, the thing that Beta Blocks most works with Amerigo Labs with is they've got a product called Power Up, Power Down, which is a nootropic, which is a fancy way of saying smart drugs or brain food. ¿Dónde está? Hey! You're doing good.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
So
yeah, thank you. I need some Power Up, Power Down.
Perfect.
Got some time to see some of the equipment that I haven't seen yet.
Okay.
And want to see the new labels, talk about the Reed brand, and some of the strategies moving forward of what you guys are working on.
Perfect. The gamers that I've been talking to said that they wanted a little bit more caffeine, but it has everything else, the same amount of everything else.
Yeah, that does taste really good.
We have a couple of people that are coming to us and are really pushing. They're already into gaming. They know the people in gaming, and the thing that is really going to push us forward is they have the connections. And so we're sending out some samples with the new label to give them the opportunity to test it. And these are people who've won, several $100,000. There's a couple players that have won $1 million.
Wow.
In video games.
Yeah.
So
I'd be honest with you, I did not see that market, and I pride myself on seeing those things, and I did not see the gamer community as the ones that we want to be giving nootropics to, but it makes sense.
yes, there's a local doctor who is pretty good, well known throughout the country for what she does. And she came to us last week and wants to do a study using 10 of her patients on power up and power down.
Wow.
And the even better thing is we met a local lab downtown in KU Med Center, and they're going to buy some brain neurons and actually do testing to show the effect of power up and power down on your brain.
Wow.
Yeah.
How are we going to get to document that?
So there's a $20,000 study that KU Med's putting on. We believe because there's not only the clinical side, but there's the science side.
We still have one more week in applications for beta blocks, and it's really strong. So, in particular in Kansas City, but Tulsa is going to be probably 30% bigger than it was in the second batch. Kansas City is going to be 200 or 300% bigger than it was in this last batch. Another kind of cool thing about Ralph and his wife Carol is that they not only went through beta blocks and saw the inside of the sausage factory, but then through their success have made it possible to invest back into beta blocks. So they, not only do I own part of their company, they own part of my company and bought in. And so we're partners in a handful of different reasons. And, I'd say people like Nathan, who I just went to, and people like Ralph and Carol, and people like Naylima, who's also a financial contributor to beta blocks. I mean, this is such a good day to show off the coolest hidden benefit of my job that I did not see coming was how awesome of individuals all these entrepreneurs are. And they're just such great people that they've turned into essentially extensions of my family and friends. And they make me better in the process. And it's just fun to constantly be around these people because it's fun to be able to make money and get rich together. But it's even more fulfilling to do that with people that totally deserve it and that are fun to be around and that we have each other's backs, not just professionally, but also personally. This is a prime example of the Tulsa Sister City stuff working. Batch 2 entrepreneur, raised a little bit of money, has got a really cool piece of technology. His company's building it. So we're taking ideas and humans from one city and being able to pair them with service providers and assets from this city. It's 2017. They don't ever need to meet. They just need to add value to each other, and someone's got to be the bridge, and Beta Blocks is the bridge. So let's see, updates. First one, there's a couple of raises that are happening right now for some of our companies, and when we talk Spencer's one opportunity with travel. Has nothing to do with Tulsa investors, it's rich people from Kansas City.
But we really need to look at each situation, and we're going to give them accurate advice, and they can do what they want to do
Right.
based on that.
Right. You need to get good at managing and writing job description and helping train people and all that kind of stuff. So we want to spend as little money as possible while you're learning that process, and then we'll double down on what works and we'll kill what doesn't. We've done more thinking about the rental model in liquor stores. And there's a lot of liquor stores, and they're all online, and they're really easy to call and really easy to show up to. And the traditional setup, or the draft pack, which would be the premium rental. The number one thing that entrepreneurs need to do is anything, as in just start. We can go back in later and fix mistakes, and we can go back in later and add details to our business. But if what you worry about is those details before you launch or before you start a new project, then you're going to spend too much time or all of time in this kind of state of planning. And that state of planning is a time in which you're not learning even an iota as much as you would as you're doing something. And so, too many entrepreneurs have this like kind of fear of action and fear of moving forward, and that's for a number of reasons, and everyone's just kind of got to get over that. You're only going to be given opportunities slightly better than the last ones that you tackled. I'm done. That was fun. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. I will see you guys next time, hopefully tomorrow, here, working. What?
Oh, if we had sad-ass country music playing in the background.
That's perfect. So, I guess one of the, and this happened with Beta Blocks, is everyone that was in batch one was a guinea pig, right? And we added our due amount of value, but we also weren't as good as we were now. Well, you're batch one for them, and they don't want to do cohort style. They want to do growth stage stuff, which is why Beta Blocks is a nice pipeline to them. Yeah. We found each other. And it's great for all of us in this room because they want to invest in Kansas City companies that want to expand to Tulsa. I cannot emphasize how passionate I am about entrepreneurship and startups and investing. My why is there's multiple answers to this. There's the macro answer, as in entrepreneurship is just really hard and really important to society. It's that simple. Every job that feeds every family in some capacity stems from an entrepreneur. And I dare you to find an exemption to that rule. Even if you're a doctor, in some way, shape, or form, either you're an entrepreneur or you work for an entrepreneur that has made that possible, such as a hospital owner or a small firm has made this practice for you, or you've made your small practice for yourself. All the way down to the government jobs are like the DMV and the politicians are paid for via taxes that are created by entrepreneurs. Every bridge, every road, every job, every part of the world's economy that moves around all stems from entrepreneurship. And yet that one thing is one of the hardest sports in the world. And so I'm just passionate about helping people make debatably the most important thing that there is easier. And for whatever reason, I just connect with entrepreneurs more so than other types of people. And so it's just invigorating for me to be around those that are trying to disrupt society for good and to create all these jobs that feed all these families and pay for all these bridges and all this other stuff. It's just really fun to be a small soldier in a really large war that means so much, and that war is just moving society forward, solving problems, and just finding ways to extract a lot of money in the process.